Welcome to your City Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 8th, 2020. Please turn off or silence all cell phones during the meeting. Meetings are televised every day on Channel 2 at 7 p.m. and midnight and available for viewing on YouTube and Facebook Live in accordance with Kansas Open Meetings Act. The meeting can be viewed on Channel 2 and via Facebook Live. The public is encouraged to view the meeting using one of those options. The Leavenworth City Commission meeting is open to the public with limited seating capacity. To mitigate the spread of COVID-19, face coverings and social distancing is required to attend the meeting. To attend the meeting in person, email cwilliamson@firstcity.org no later than 4 p.m. on December 8th to reserve a seat. Seats are available on a first-come, first-served basis if you are not attending the meeting but would like to submit public comments to be read during the public comments portion of the meeting or submit questions on an agenda item to be read during discussion on that topic. Email your comments or questions to cwilliamson@firstcity.org no later than 6 p.m. on December 8th. First order of business is to pledge allegiance and followed by silent meditation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. So under old business, the first agenda item is consideration of previous meeting minutes. And we have minutes from November 19th, 2020 special meeting and November 24th, 2020 regular meeting. Ms. Williamson, can we address them both in one motion?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments on those minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve minutes from November 19th, 2020 special meeting and November 24th, 2020 regular meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes from the special meeting on 19 November and our regular meeting on November 24th. We are going to begin voting with Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
And I, as the mayor, vote aye. The vote is 5-0. The ayes have it. The motion carries. So we've approved the minutes from our special meeting on 19 November and our November 24th, 2020 regular meeting. Next agenda item under old business is second consideration ordinances. Second consideration ordinances 8156, amend section 18-94, land disturbance fees and bonds.
Mr. Mayor and Commission, there have been no changes since the first reading on November 24th. If you have any questions on this item, I can do my best to answer them.
Any questions or comments for the city manager on this particular agenda item? This requires a roll call vote, so we are going to begin voting with Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson? Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Bowder?
Aye.
And I, as the mayor, vote aye. The motion carries. The votes are 5-0. The ayes have it. And we've adopted ordinance number 8156. We have new business. Public comment. These are for items not listed on the agenda or receipt of petitions. Is there anyone in the audience this evening who wishes to provide public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will go on to the next item on the agenda, and it is nominations, and this is nominations for terms as far as our city commission for the terms December 8, 2020 through December 14, 2021. I'm going to begin with making a motion to nominate Commissioner Nancy Bowder to be mayor from December 8th, 2020 to December 14th, 2021.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to nominate Commissioner Bowder to be mayor from December 8, 2020 to December 14, 2021. We are going to begin voting with Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Bowder.
Aye.
And I, as the mayor, vote aye. The ayes have it. The vote is 5-0, and we've passed the motion, and we have a new mayor for the city of Leavenworth.
To move our stuff over.
You change that quick.
Oh, you need your
Nameplate.
laptop too.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, a lot of stuff.
Thank you, sir.
And
I gotta move this down a little bit.
Mayor Bowder, could I just have 1 minute?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, listen, I think I'll have an opportunity after the new year at our first regular meeting to maybe provide a little bit more detail on the last year serving as the mayor, which has been a great honor. But I will just say that when I had this honor bestowed upon me a year ago, I talked about my focus was going to be on listening, learning, and leading. And I certainly know that this past year gave me a lot of opportunities to do that. I think I lived up to that commitment, and I do appreciate all the support and from my fellow city commissioners, the city manager, Mr. Paul Kramer and his team, and especially the citizens of Leavenworth who've gone through, as we all have, a very challenging and I know it's a little trite or maybe unprecedented year, but we've gotten through it. There's still a lot of challenges that lay ahead, but working together, we can still be successful and do our very best to keep our citizens and people within our city safe and healthy. And I wish Mayor Bowder the very best in next year, and I know we'll continue working together as a city commission to move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for your service as mayor
Okay.
and as commissioner all this
Sure.
time. Your hard act to follow. I have to give a shout out real quick to my grandsons out in Colorado. They are live streaming this. So Aiden and Jason, you're watching us now.
Wait for them.
Thank you for allowing me to serve as your mayor. Last year was the first year of my second four-year term, and my second time as mayor this year. We are a team. Just for the public to know, the mayor's vote does not carry any more weight than any commissioner's. It has been my honor to work alongside this stellar commission and the outstanding leadership of our city manager and all the wonderful staff of the city. I'm proud to represent the city and the citizens of Leavenworth. We will all work to ensure that Leavenworth continues to be a great place to live, work, and grow a family. And on to the next business. Next item on the agenda, Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a motion for Mayor Pro Tem?
Madam Mayor, I move that Commissioner Kamala Leonhard be appointed Mayor Pro Tem for the term from December 8th, 2020 to December 14th, 2021.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please begin voting with Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Leonhard,
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger,
Aye.
and Commissioner Griswold.
Aye.
You gotta
Ayes
vote.
have it, so
You need to vote too.
aye.
Oh, 'cause you-
And I as mayor vote aye too. That's it. It takes you a while to get back in the thing here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, do we have a
Yes.
motion for the financial claims reviewer?
I would like to move to nominate Commissioner Jermaine Wilson as the financial claims reviewer from December 8th, 2020 to December 14th, 2021.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhard?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson? I thought maybe he was gonna say no for a minute. Thank you, sir, for serving. It's been, and I vote aye as well. The ayes have it, and Commissioner Wilson, thank you for serving.
His power's not turned on, his batteries will go dead. Yeah,
It's on, it's on.
it is.
I think I'm
Goes
good.
the other way.
Okay, okay. Next item on the agenda, public hearing for amending the 2020 budget.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioner, I'm going to turn this item over to our finance director in just a second. This is an annual exercise we have to do as we move through the budget each year, anticipating the prior summer, how the year is going to behave at the end of our budget year. We have to make some adjustments, and so our finance director is going to walk us through the republication for the 2020 budget.
Okay, we need to move to open public hearing.
Yes, please.
Do I have a motion to open
Madam
public
Mayor, I
hearing?
move that we open the public hearing.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Wilson? Commissioner Leonhard?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The hearing is open.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The issue before you is to propose a republication of the 2020 budget, increasing the expenditure authority to accommodate unanticipated expenditures for the following funds: the Community Grant Fund, the Home Depot TIF Fund, the Sewer Fund, the Business and Technology Park Fund, the Refuse Restricted Fund, the Stormwater Fund, the Debt Service Fund, and the Hotel TIF Fund. In August of 2019, the Commission approved and adopted the 2020 budget, establishing maximum expenditures for various funds and the amount of ad valorem taxes levied to provide funding for those expenditures. According to Kansas statutes, we cannot spend more money than we have the authority to spend, and therefore we have to amend the budget. When we do a budget amendment, it has to be from existing revenues. It cannot be to levy additional taxes. And so the items before you, the changes that are made before you will not increase any of the tax levies at all. Some of the majority of the funds that are going to be affected are related to the debt refunding that we did in June. So when we refunded all those debts to save some money on interest and everything, it exceeded our budget authorities. So that's what those are. So when you look at the sewer fund, the stormwater fund, and the debt service fund, those are all related to the debt refunding that we did in June. The community grant fund, we didn't have, it didn't even exist last year. This fund we created to allow the city to cover grants made to community organizations and small businesses that were negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The funding for this fund came from the general fund. The Home Depot TIF Fund and the Hotel TIF Fund received additional tax, sales tax revenues that we did not anticipate. And it's a wash through, so what we get in, we have to pay back out. And so in order to pay those out, we have to increase the spending authority. And the Business and Technology Park is to pay for the maintenance of and the landscaping at the Business and Technology Park. And that comes from their reserves. The Refuse Restricted Fund increases the authority to expend money out of those, and these are for transactions resulting from the KDHE activities related to the Old City landfill and the Old Municipal Service Center. That amount was $32,264. These funds will be paid, these expenses will be paid from the refuse fund. Does anyone have any questions?
This is, okay, this is open to staff and public comment. Paul, did you have anything?
Yeah, I'll make, this can be sometimes confusing agenda item, because when we say exceeding spending authority, you know, I'll reiterate, a lot of times it's when funds do better than they're expected to do. More revenue comes in, therefore more revenue goes back out. That would be the case on like the Home Depot TIF fund, when we have to sort of forecast the revenue ahead of time. So the community grant fund, these are CARES Act dollars or Spark dollars that came to the city that we didn't know. So it's revenue in, but it's also revenue out. So the crux of this usually is, it's usually revenue that you've increased and therefore you've expended that revenue. So again, want to just reiterate, there are no new taxes, no use of any type of funds that aren't available to the city. It's just sort of a reallocation or an unanticipated revenue source that you're now expending to the public.
Okay. Commissioners, any
I
questions?
don't have any
No.
questions. I think it's pretty
Any other
straightforward.
questions from the public on this? Okay, anything else, sir? Anything else, Ruby?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay, then I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded, please begin voting with Commissioner Griswold,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Leonhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The hearing is closed. Now, do we have a motion to approve the 2020 budget amendments?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the 2020 budget amendments as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting with Commissioner Leonhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Preisinger,
Aye.
Commissioner Griswold.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So that has been moved and passed. So we have approved the 2020 budget amendments. Next item, general items. Review unsafe and dangerous structures, given extension on October 27, 2020. Yes, Ms. Hurley.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor and Commissioners. As you said, this is a review of the 3 demo properties that we last reviewed at the October 27th meeting. At that meeting, all 3 of these properties were given extension to this particular date to continue making repairs that are required. So we will just go over those one by one. The first property is 1914 West 7th Street. This is a single-family house. The picture that you see up there is from July, and if Taylor could just kind of scroll through, I've got a few of each of these properties. The next picture is from September. The picture after that is from October, when we last reviewed it. And then I've got some current pictures as it stands as of last week. So what they have worked on here, the new roof and windows have been installed. New siding is currently being installed, and the ownership has officially changed to Tricia Alton, who has been here at the last couple of meetings to speak to this. I do have a couple of other pictures of the sides of it, Taylor, if you want to go through. And I will just state for the record that the few times that I've been by this property in the last couple of weeks, there's always been somebody out there actually working on it when I have driven by. So at this point, they have pretty much covered all of the items that were on the remediation agreement. The siding is obviously still in progress. There has been progress since these pictures were even taken last week on December 2nd. It's further along. I know Ms. Alton is here if she wants to speak to where they're at on it.
Okay. Would you like to come speak, Ms. Alton? Please state your name and address, please.
My name is Tricia Alton, and 609 South Hickory Trail, Lansing.
Thank you.
The siding should be done this week, so the whole exterior is now going to be complete. It took us a little longer, all the windows had to be custom made, and it took a month and a half to be made. And then actually the interior will be done in 3 weeks, so the house will be 100% completed.
Okay.
Any questions of Ms. Alton?
So there's been quite a bit of work since our when did we discuss this? In late
Yeah, we last saw
October?
this on October 27th,
Okay,
and there's
good.
been a
That's
pretty
good.
substantial amount of progress that's taken place since
It's
that time.
fantastic. Very good.
When do you expect it to be completed?
I'm hoping in 3 weeks to be on the market in 4.
Great. Great.
Okay.
So-
Any other questions, comments?
Ms. Alton and Ms. Hurley, I drove by it today, and I do see there's been some work on it, but when a house is under this cloud of potential demolition, we normally do not cite it for code issues. If we take it off the demo list, you could get a lot of code issues. I drove by it today and around the front, came around the alley in the backyard. there are a lot of potential code issues there. There's enough trash in that backyard that needs to be hauled off. I mean, I feel for the neighbors, and I've always stated that, but there's more than a truckload, probably more than a 5-ton truckload of trash just out there. No one's attempted to clean it up or take it away. So if we take it off, yeah, it could definitely get cited for code issues. So I just want you to know that.
Perfect. The interior was contracted out, not by my construction crew, but another, so I'll contact them tomorrow to have them clean it up.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It is, I
Yeah.
agree. It was supposed to have been done
And the
last
neighbors
week.
tell me it's a mess too. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a consensus to take this off of the,
I think we should take it off.
Yeah. take
Ms.
it off.
Hurley,
Take it off.
quick question. If this house was exactly as it is now, would it be on the demo list?
No, it would not.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm for it.
all right,
So am I.
so add that to your, so when we vote on this, we'll vote on all of these?
Yep, so same as always, we'd ask that you reach a consensus on each one. And then at the end, I've got the language in here for the action that you would take just based off the consensus that you've reached for
Okay.
each of these individually.
Okay, the next house?
Okay, the next house is 504 Miami Street. This house, you can see up here back in July as it stood. The next picture is from, should be September. And then we've got one from October. By that time, the front porch had been taken off, and then the next few pictures are current. The front porch has been put back on. If Taylor, if you could go through, I've got a couple of other pictures of other sides of the property. So as of this time, there is an active building permit that was issued back in May of this year for exterior and interior renovations. The front porch has been removed and replaced. An upstairs window on the front of the house has been replaced, but we still have roof, siding, and windows that are in need of repair or replacement, as was noted on the remediation agreement.
Is that the back of the house?
That's the back of the house, as it stood last week, correct?
So those are three major things, the roof, the siding, and
Correct.
generally the windows.
Correct, and I believe we've got a representative of this property here.
Okay, let's hear from him. Sir, you want to state your name and address? Come on up.
I think we're getting a microphone battery
Oh, okay.
in the back. I think it had to change it out.
Ramon Mohammed.
Hang on.
Hold on just a second. We got to replace your microphone so we can hear you.
All right.
Sorry.
Moment forgets us.
Take a drink of water, yeah. It's dry in here. Thank you. Let's give you a chance to look at the dates on this a little bit better. Okay, sir, your name and address, please.
Ramon Mohammed, 1208 West 21st Street, Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay? So what's happening on here?
We're gonna go ahead and finish the renovation of the house and just get it ready to rent out. It's gonna be a rental property. We're also, that's our next move, is to finish up the front of it. The stairs are already on. The picture didn't show stairs and railing, but we already have the stairs and railing on as well in the front. And as soon as we get that done, not in that picture, the stairs are not there, but I spoke with Kathy Rogers
Rogers,
earlier, and she said she was gonna take pictures of it, but, then the back of it is what we're gonna be focusing on now, and the roof, the roof part on the back and that whole area. We're planning on extending that out, but it's gonna be redone as well.
When do you expect the roof to be on it? To me, that looks like one of the big issues when we look at this.
We're trying to get some projects done. As I stated last time, when I was here last time, I am a general contractor, and as soon as I get other jobs done and completed, then we'll have the revenue to finish investing into this project here. And right now, I'm tied up for like 3 weeks on a project right now. We're working on the Lease Summit.
This has been on the demolition list for some time.
I just recently acquired it. I think I've had it for about 6 months. I haven't had it the whole time.
When was it originally
But,
on the
yeah,
list?
the problem though are the big things, well, particularly the roof. I don't know, the siding has the siding been replaced or it just doesn't look as bad as the roof?
Yeah, the siding's not terrible, and so I think on this one, yeah, we typically do put, repair or replace any exterior siding. That just refers to anything that needs repair or replacement. So, in cases like this, the siding actually doesn't look too bad. The back can probably use some power washing, maybe some minor wood repair, and then painting of the structure. But on this one, as you can see, it's really the roof and the windows that are the big ticket items.
Which was the case in late October, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem in terms of, and I know you've gotta have the resources and everything, and you've gotta, balance that, but, I mean, we've had this property on the list for most of 2020.
Yeah, when did it?
We sent out our first notices in March of this year.
Yeah.
And our first hearing on these, was July 14th.
So, and I hear about, prioritization of other projects, and I understand that, but for us as a commission in the city, we're focused on this property, because, looking at it as a property, we've given quite a bit of time for, well, you and whoever, owned it, or whoever was responsible for it before.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, I mean, that's my comment at this point. I don't know if my fellow commissioners have anything, to say.
I do, I have a comment.
Sure.
Mr. Mohammed, so
Yes.
is it just the back part of the roof that needs to be replaced,
The whole
or it's
thing.
the whole roof? It's the whole roof?
Whole thing.
Okay. Is there any
Yeah.
leakage inside the house? Any damage?
No, we, on that back part, the very back part, it is, we're gonna be right there on that back part there. So that's our next focus, is getting that part of the roof, done next. And we can do that ourselves. We're gonna contract out the big part of it. And that's what we spoke on the, Christian Brothers. They're gonna be coming out doing that.
Thank you.
Well, when you guys were here before, you were gonna take care of that before now. So what are you thinking? How long? I mean, it just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. The roof, to me, is the biggest, biggest issue, the biggest safety issue in any house. But this one is in bad shape, I know, because I've seen it for years over there.
Right now, we're just trying to, raise the capital to get the roof replaced. It's gonna cost like $8,300, is the cost of that new roof right there. So that's why I'm trying to get this other project finished, because we got a $12,000, project, going on right now. And the one we got right now going on, another one is another $6,000. So we should have, the revenue to get this done. But I gotta get these other, properties and jobs projects completed, so we can have the money to, pay the Christian Brothers to come out and do it for us.
Okay. Commissioner Wilson, do you have any comments or questions?
Yes, Mr. Muhammad,
Yes.
first off, thank you for the work that you have done. The question is, how long do you think it will take you before you replace the roofs and finish the remaining repairs?
Yes, I'm gonna need another, couple months at least.
Like, what do you mean, like 60 days?
Yes, sir.
And you think everything will be completed within the 60 days?
Yes, because I know the Christian Brothers, they're pretty quick.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Mr. Muhammad,
As one commissioner, I proposed a 60-day extension. He has made some progress. He put on the porch like he stated last time that he would. I know he didn't make the finish up with the rules, but he made some progress, so I'll be in favor of recognizing that. I'll be in favor of the 60-day extension.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner
Mr.
President.
Muhammad, Madam Mayor, I reviewed the tapes of our meetings, 22nd of September. You were here and you said that You're gonna get the roof, chimney, siding, soffits, and eaves. You're gonna work on that. Then I reviewed the tape of our 27 October meeting 42 days ago. And that's when the porch had been torn off. And you promised then, hey, you got Christian Brothers coming out. It'll be done by December 8th. They're gonna do the roofing. And the work that I've seen that you've done, I'm not taking anything away from it, is that front porch and a new window. You haven't done anything on the roof, haven't done anything on the soffits. The rest of the windows are rotted out on that side, especially on the west side. The neighbors that have lived there 11 years, you know, when I've talked with them, they said, is it coming down? I mean, they'd be happy for it to come down because they've lived with that squalor next to them for 11 years. But are we getting played again? They told me 27 October this was gonna happen. That's 42 days ago. And it didn't happen. You told me on 22 September it's gonna happen. It didn't happen. Is the place worth saving? Obviously, you've got other projects, but, you know, we're holding your feet to the fire here. Maybe you should drop those other projects. Maybe you should have worked this one rather than those other ones. Because then you'd get revenue to fix those other ones. But this one, I'm not in favor of extending. This thing has just gone on too long.
I'm more Commissioner Preisinger is at this point, because I mean, even what Mr. Mohammed has told us, it's still not a high priority, and I think we're just gonna be very much where we are now, maybe a little bit better, but, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I doubt whether there'll be a roof, and, I mean, in terms of, if past is prologue, I'm not sure, I'm not very confident there's gonna be a roof there in 60 days, so.
For me, it's a high priority to get this property up and running and rent it out. That's my number one goal, is to get this project off the demo list and up and running as fast as possible.
You say that, but you
Said that
mentioned,
last time, it's not coming up. That's the only thing.
I'm still working on getting the roof done. I didn't promise that the roof would be done by December the 8th. I said we were working on getting the Christian Brothers out there. We spoke to them. They already gave us an estimate, and I'm trying to get that done and get the $8,300 up and running. So,
What's the consensus of the commission?
I think we need to, and this would be proceeding with the demolition, right? Is it, or do we keep it on, if we keep it on the demolition list, it means we're gonna proceed with demolition?
Right, if the commission does not approve an extension or remove it, then we would proceed with our steps for demolition.
That's where I am right now.
Can you get a roof on in 30 days?
30 days? That's gonna be tough.
You had 60 days, 90 days, you're gonna be in the middle of the winter, it's gonna be next spring.
No, but we got the company that we're gonna use, they doesn't care about the temperatures outside. And I've already got thousands of dollars invested just getting it to this point. I've already sunk about $8,000, if not more, into this property, trying to get it renovated. And we got even the front door is brand new, and we're gonna continue putting the windows in there. We're gonna get this property up and running. That's a brand new front door.
Well, I don't know, I mean, you have made some improvements, but I don't think it's anywhere near $8,000, which is your price for the roof, and then there's some soffits that have to be repaired, so.
Lumber itself has already almost tripled due to COVID.
Yeah.
2x4s used to be $2, now they're like $6, $8, $7 for one 2x4. So that's why the wood is so expensive.
Yeah, I would be willing 60 days, but all this stuff, it's gotta be done. It's gotta be done in 60 days. I mean, I would be willing to do that one last time, but it's gotta be done. And you can't come here and say something's not done. I mean, if I'm gonna do the 60 days, all this is gonna have to be done that's on the remediation list. And I don't know. It's given the benefit of the doubt to Mr. Mohammed, but I don't know if he can get it done, but if he comes back here and there's not in 60 days and not all these tasks, all these things are taken care of, then we proceed to demolition, but.
Immediately. Immediately,
So
immediately.
I would be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, although, I don't know, I'm not 100% confident that, you know, that this is going to be able to be done in 60 days. But I'm willing to do it because of giving Mr. Mohammed the benefit of the doubt. But I will not, when it comes before us the next time, if there, any of these things on the remediation list are not taken care of, I will say proceed with demolition.
Especially the roof, especially
Right.
the roof.
I agree.
well,
60 days and, yeah, just get that roof done.
Yes.
So,
I think
Okay.
it's the wrong move. Mr. Mohammed, you pulled a building permit on May 11th, did you not?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do the math. That's, that was 7 months ago. We've got a porch and a front door and a window. We've been promised each time. 60 days from now is February. That's when these things first were identified. We're going over a year. And then, I know you're working on other properties, but if I was doing it, my feet were being held to the fire on this one, I'd stop those properties and get
Right,
this one,
right.
and then this will produce the cash you need to finish those other ones.
Get it
Uh,
off the demolition
yeah,
list,
Those,
so we don't tear it
And
down.
let me finish, and I believe that we keep it on the demolition list, or proceed with demolition. It doesn't have power, water, or anything, but we still have to go through the shut-offs. And if we proceed on this, realistically, you probably have approximately 30 days, I'm just guessing, Ms. Hurley, before a bulldozer would run.
At least.
Yeah, 30 to 40 days. And you could get it off if you put on that roof, do it. But if we give you another 60 days, we may hear another plaintiff plea here in 60 days. Well, this happened or that happened. I say we proceed with demolition, but you're gonna have to get working on it and finish it. I'm not for any extension. I can't justify the citizens of this town. That thing's been identified for over a year and still nothing is done.
and it's been 11 years, is that part of this, the history of this
Yeah,
particular
it
property?
hasn't been occupied for 11 years.
I can't speak for the past 11 years. I didn't have anything to do with the property back then. But we are determined to get it done, and we're going to determine to get the roof put on there. We will have it done. Definitely within 60 days, we can have the roof put on there for sure.
Well, it has to be more than the roof, it's gotta be everything that's here. I mean, the roof is the,
It's
is
the
the
roof
main,
and the
is the
windows.
main
Roof is the
thing,
big
but,
thing. The
The
roof is the
soffits
big
and
thing.
eaves.
Yeah. You said 30 to 40 days before they would actually demolish it, to
That's
keep it on the list?
typically sort of a low end. I will say that once the commission has voted to place something on a demolition list, even if a property owner keeps working on it, staff can't administratively take that off the demolition list.
Right.
And we do start incurring costs that are then assessed to that property. And then it has to be, again, brought back. So staff can't just administratively take something off once the commission has voted to put it on
But
a
you
demolition
can bring
list.
it to us and say, hey, we're gonna tear this down, but he has fixed it up, and then we could say, don't tear it down, right?
Right, and
Yeah, or
again, we
am I-
do start incurring costs on it.
Well,
once
that's fine, that may force him to move faster. Right now, he's not incurring any costs. This is your number one priority, in my opinion, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, I
And
did.
if we go forward with the demolition, you're gonna start incurring costs immediately, then maybe it'll get your attention that I have to take off my other jobs and get this one done.
I already know it already has my attention, and I'm giving this as much attention as I can, and like I said, it is
Which
on my
isn't enough.
high priority to get this done. It's like when I sign a contract with a client, I gotta uphold that contract. I can't just say, hey, okay, wait a minute, I got a property, in another town, I gotta go fix. Well, we're already under a contract, so I gotta honor that. So that's some of the holdup of me getting the progress done on this project. And that's why I was trying to explain to you, I'm already under a contract now. We're getting ready to complete it, and once we do, that's another $6,000. So we can take that money and invest it into the roof. The roof is only an $8,000 roof. So in 60 days, I know for sure we'll have the roof put on.
Can you get it done in 45 days?
I'm gonna ask for 60, please.
Well, I think I would agree that if it takes that long for the demolition to actually occur, that I would just leave it on the demolition list.
Those costs that are incurred though, is that cost for the city or is that, with those costs, are they assessed against,
Well, the city has to pay them and then they're assessed against the property.
Against the property.
It also, it does affect the city's bidding with contractors. We're down, you'll see later tonight, we are down to one demo contractor that's bidding on our projects. And if we start putting bids together, then pulling properties off, that's not a real good practice to get into.
Okay, got
I
it.
think if you're gonna go with that, you should.
Look, I understand and where Commissioner Preisinger is coming from and I am giving you the benefit of the doubt. I still, and I don't want to be wishy-washy here, so I'll stick with my 60 days. But all these things got to be taken care of, and not just the roof. I know the roof's a big thing, but that's where I stand at this point in terms of my position on this. But I understand where Commissioner Preisinger is coming from, and it's a tough decision for me, but I'll stick with what I said.
I'll ask my fellow commissioners, they're saying 60 days. Our meeting on October 27th, we said 30 days, but because of the way the calendar fell, it was going to be the first meeting in December, because we couldn't do it in 30 days. So we actually gave them 42 days, which is 6 weeks.
Sure.
If we go, and that was, that was our ultimatum. That's our line in the sand. Now we're going to go 60 days? I think, whatever the consensus is, but I think that we are doing a disservice to the citizens of this community, allowing squalor like this to continue.
Commissioner Wilson, anything else? I think you said what you thought.
Yes, ma'am.
Pardon?
Is it, where is it?
I can't hear.
Oh, there it is.
Pardon, we can't hear you, sir.
I said I'm still in favor of the 60 days.
Gotcha, thank you. Commissioner
Ms.
Leonhardt.
Williamson, 60 days from now, what meeting would that be?
Do you have those dates I gave you, Julie?
I didn't bring them. It'd be the first meeting in February.
First, not study session, let me see.
Yeah. I
February
apologize,
9th.
I didn't bring those down.
February 9th.
February 9th.
Yeah.
I'm for 60 days.
So that's 62 days from now.
Well, there's
So to the
three
February
of
9th meeting.
three of you that are for 60 days, so
It's a consensus.
I'll go along with that too.
Okay, so we'll plan on bringing this back at the February 9th meeting.
Yes, sir, that's the last
Yeah.
one.
We've said that so many times.
Well, I
it.
don't know if we've, yeah.
I'm putting a star on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Good luck, Mr. Muhammad.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Law
sir.
work.
Please get it done.
Okay, the third property we have is 824 Osage Street. We've got some pictures up here from July, you can see it. If we go to the next slide, I believe that is from September. The next slide is from October, when we saw it the last time. And then the next few pictures are as of last week. So on this one, again, this is a single-family house with a detached garage in back. And so all of these required improvements would need to be made to the detached garage as well, just to note that. So there was a building permit issued on May 22nd of this year for the roof. As of now, it appears that the roof on the front portion of the house over the porch has been repaired, or at least there's been some new shingles added to it. There's been paint applied to the front of the house and the porch area. The items still needing repair are the roof, siding, and the windows and doors. And I did include the minutes from the October 27th meeting in your packet. And at that time, the discussion amongst the commissioners was that the expectation would be that the entire roof be complete by this date.
Yes.
So, and the picture up here now, you can kind of see how those shingles were applied to the front of the roof and just sort of laid over that existing roof on the side of the house.
Yes, ma'am, I think we've got some,
No, the roof has been,
wait, your name and address,
oh,
please.
sorry about that. Darlene Geringer, 112 East K, Lansing.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Misty Underwood.
Okay.
You want my address? Okay, it is 1012 Atchison Street, Atchison, Kansas.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have redid the porch. The front part of the house there is all done. The roof is fixed, the little, I call it the little house on top, that's been fixed. I got pictures to show it. As far as siding, we don't have to put, the siding's fine, it needs painted.
It needs a roof, is what
Yes,
it needs.
yes,
and
and
that's
we
what I
were
asked
working
for
on the roof.
before.
I took all the money we had to buy the shingles. Me and my husband are on disability. We're old, we're antiques. We're doing the best we can
Yeah, we
with
had
what
this
we got.
discussion last time you were here. I
We're-
remember that.
We came a long ways.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I am willing to take my 401K out as long as, what worries me is if I take a whole of this money out and it's not gonna be enough. What I'm saying is,
She doesn't feel like, no matter what we do, it's not gonna be enough for you guys.
All I
It's-
want is,
hang on, let me
all we
speak.
wanted
Can I
was a
speak?
roof. That's
And we're
all we
trying.
wanted
let
to
me
get
speak,
started
let me
here.
speak.
We are trying.
The reason, I'm sorry, I'm her daughter. Come on, let me
Okay,
speak.
but we're
thank you.
trying.
The reason I am here
If we just say
is
there's
because
nothing.
I would love to save my grandma's house, which is, and then my mom's house, for my grandchildren, you know? And I'm willing to take out my 401K, take my retirement out to save the house. I just came today to see if that would be possible. Like, I don't know, she's thinking that nothing's gonna be acceptable, but I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this to save the house. I just don't want,
We have
all-
been working and working on it. It's not like we're sitting down
I
and not doing
understand.
nothing.
Did you say that you already have the shingles?
No, we're buying them as we can,
But
little
I-
at a time.
but
We
I-
did check with Home Depot that they do have it no matter what.
but I am, Mom,
We don't have the money
But
to
I
do it all
do.
at one time.
but what I'm saying is I will take out my retirement and my
That's enough,
401K.
that's
No,
enough.
let me
Yeah.
speak, please.
It's not gonna be good
Let
enough
me
for them,
speak.
quit.
I don't want to lose
We have been trying and
my
trying.
grandma's house. I'm willing
My husband
to
was sick, he ended up in the
do this
hospital.
for her.
We was in here in July.
You both can't talk at the same time. I mean, people
We
out
was
here
in
can
the-
hear you.
In
Just-
July, first time I knew anything about it was July. We were here. Okay, he says, okay, you gotta do blah, 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 a whole bunch. And not the painting. We already bought the paint. So, then I came back. My husband had just got out of the hospital. He can't even hardly walk. He's just now learning to walk again. And then, it's not good enough. Okay, then they give us till today. We've been working on it all the time.
There was somebody that she had hired. There's somebody that she had hired to come and do some work. And it was the little bit of money that she had, and she got scammed. And I said, you should have called me, Mom, before you went ahead and gave your money to somebody that you got online, that you should have done that. Well, it wasn't a lot, to my mom, it's a lot of money, it was like $4,000. And that was her mistake, she should have just asked me questions. So she was out of that money.
This is all cleaned up.
But what I'm saying is, I am willing to draw that out, to save the house.
When do you think this could be done?
I can go ahead and get a hold of, them, see the holiday is coming up. The first of the year, I can draw it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right now.
No, do I have to do it right now? Do I need to take it out?
It's been on the demolition
Well, I
list.
don't know.
It's on the demolition, yeah.
Mom, let me speak.
But you're taking my home from me.
Mom, let me speak, please.
It's
Please,
not-
Mom, let me speak.
It's not gonna be good enough, I said that.
I don't live in town, and I work a lot and everything. And then this is going on, and then mom contacts me and lets me know this is going on, so I go down there and I was helping and everything, and then I didn't know that it was at this stage, you know what I mean? So now that I know that it's this stage, I watched I watched this online or whatever it was, and then I seen that, and then it's like they're gonna take the house, they're gonna tear it down,
Right.
And that's why I wanted to come and see if I take this out, and then is it gonna be too late? You know what I mean?
here fixed.
But I'm willing to take that to my mother.
Okay, just wait a minute.
not gonna be good enough.
What are you doing?
I'm reviewing the meeting from last time. Do you have a sister, ma'am, that
Yes.
was here?
I have 5 kids.
Okay,
I'm
your sister was here
seven,
last
sorry
time, and
about that.
I can play the meeting. We ended up saying, we're giving you 42 days. She said, we'll have the roof done in 42
No, we
days.
didn't.
We'll have it on. That's what they
No,
told
no,
us
no.
October 27th, 42
You
days
said
ago, and that's what we
have that.
agreed to, and that has not happened.
Well, play it.
That's all I'm saying.
Because you
Thank
said, will you have it done? I doubt it. And I'll say it again. I do the best I can with what I got. I know it's not good enough for you. You want it now. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my
Now, it's
mouth.
been on the list since February, ma'am.
No, it's July. The first time I heard about it, I was here in July. So don't,
What
Commissioner,
I'm saying is, as soon as I
Go
get
ahead.
my 401K, then, as soon as that's done, we have to find the right person to do, you know.
no, we're not gonna find the right person.
wait a
We're gonna
minute.
buy the stuff
Just
to
one of
do
you at a
it.
time, please, please. Thank
What
you.
I'm saying
You
is,
listen to her, but I don't gotta say it.
but okay, what I'm saying is, I just don't want to, I would like to find the right person that's not going to take us for our money, because they're out there. I mean,
Sure.
you know, they're out there. And then I would like to do that and help my mom, but then if it's not gonna be able to be saved, then with that money that I take out, you get what I'm saying, like, I don't wanna lose, I mean, that's my future. But this house was my past, and I don't
I
want
have
to
pictures. I have pictures. Would you like to see the pictures
Um,
that we took today?
All of this, there's so much
It's a
more
lot
done.
done.
There's so much more done.
The roof still hasn't been done.
Not
Ma'am,
all of it, no.
uh,
The back part of the roof has been
Yes,
done.
The
And
front part of
here
that, the
has
triangular
been
part in the front's been done, the rest of it has not been.
No, this here has not been done, no.
And,
This has been
yeah,
done.
and on the back,
This has been
ma'am,
done.
you said that you're gonna get some money, but you can't get it till the first of the year.
No, I said, would it be too long if I waited till the first of the year? Simply because of, the Christmas is coming up, and then
Takes
just,
a while to
you know, with where I work at, I work midnights, and then my boss works during the day. I can go ahead and go through all the channels. I'm not sure how long, I've never taken out my 401K before. I've never taken out my retirement. I don't know how long that it takes. And with the holidays, I don't know, is that gonna take longer? I've never taken it out before.
I don't wanna be a financial advisor here, but what do you figure a roof is, gonna be $8,000?
I'm thinking-
Let's say it is, let's say whatever number it is. If you pull out from your 401K, you pay a 20%
I know
tax
that.
penalty right away.
Yes.
If this thing is salvageable, go to the bank tomorrow and get that loan. And who are you gonna get to the roof? You say, well, you don't want anybody that, will take away. Let me finish, please. There, you can get a list of every licensed roofer in this town. I believe the city clerk can provide that. Is that true, Ms. Williamson?
The inspections department
The
has.
inspections department. And that's who you hire with. They have to be a licensed roofer. They have to be accredited in this town. Very, I don't want to say easy, but yeah, fairly simple thing to do. Find out, here are the 5 people. I want this roof done. Go to the bank and maybe pledge your 401K, but my advice would be not to take your 401K to save you a little bit of money, but do it immediately. If we extend another 60 days,
Can
this
I
goes on and
can I
on.
ask you something? So I can put my 401K as collateral?
Well, you gotta talk to your banker.
No,
As I said, I'm not a
no.
financial advisor.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, you take your
I think,
401K, it's gonna, you got some tax implications
Okay.
that could hurt you.
Commissioner Wilson, you want to say something? Looks like you're thinking about it. I don't want to leave you out.
It's a lot going on. Sounds like we're moving, toward a 60-day extension. Is that what I'm hearing? Or are we still just discussing it?
I think we're still just discussing it.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of just listening right now.
Okay, that's fine, sir.
I,
Commissioner Griswold, what's your,
So,
this is, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead, Jermaine.
so that's what I'm asking. Is that's her daughter that's with her?
Yes,
Yes, one of them.
she's going to help her put the roof on, is what she's saying.
Okay. So you're saying, so are you saying that this can be done, the roof can be replaced within 60 days?
If he can get the loan.
yes,
We're
well,
okay.
They said last time.
because I shouldn't take my 401K out, I should go to the bank
Yeah.
To get, to get it instead.
Well, we can't give you advice
No, no.
on how to
Well,
finance it.
well, you
I'm just
said-
trying to help you a little bit. That roof has to get on immediately, whatever time this commission decides. And how it's done, I mean, that's your personal business, how you have to handle that.
Okay.
But it needs to happen.
Right.
And I say it needs to happen immediately, but I don't
And then
think I
the
get
reason-
the
The
consensus.
reason that I wanted to come and talk to you guys in person is just because I don't want, to take out all what I've saved, you know, and then it not be done in, say, in 60 days, say we're not quite
And tear
finished.
it down
And
anyway.
then I've taken all of that out and you guys tear down the house anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but if you have the money and you contract with the roofer, they will get it done. Well, it might be more than a one-day job there, because there might be a lot more damage in there to repair, but a roofing company can do that in 2 days.
Okay.
So, 60 days, say, oh, I had them, and I'm just afraid we'll hear the same
Okay, so-
excuses again
Well,
and
it
again.
appears that's the biggest issue with that house is the roof. And that's what I said before, and that's what we talked about before.
And we've been working on it,
It doesn't matter.
it's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough,
No, I
I'm
know
sorry, it
this.
is
I
not
know
good
this.
enough.
It's not.
Because I don't have the money.
They're just gonna tear your house down.
They're going to anyway, miss. They're going to anyway.
What's Jermaine saying?
Mr. Wilson, hey, man, I just want you to know, man, we are trying to help you out as best as possible. We're doing what we can, even though we may have our difference of opinion, just know we are trying to work collectively,
We are
to help
too. I am
assist
too.
you.
And I am too. I'm trying.
Don't think that, we just wanna bulldoze your house. If you're making some effort, just know, we'll do everything that we can to support you. But like I said, that's my recommendation. I'll be in support of a 60-day extension, for the roof to get replaced. And I just really hope that it does get done.
I do too. I
Yeah.
hope it gets replaced so that we can just,
Okay?
But
we'll be back.
but the financing is gonna be critical, and we knew,
I have the.
well, whatever. We can't do anything more in terms of talking about finances, but obviously that's a critical step for you being able to come back here and say the roof is to standard, it's been replaced, because we can't, we're not gonna give you any fudge room when you come back. And if we do agree to the 60 days,
And do the other side.
we,
All at once.
it's gotta be done, and you've gotta make a decision for yourself and your family with respect to whether the financial resources are there and whether it's something that you really wanna do and makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm for 60 days, but if it's not on there, and what else has to be done besides the
Yeah,
roof?
I just wanted to make note and make sure everybody was on the same page, that it's not just a roof that needs
Yeah.
to be done on this. The siding, needs to be repaired in areas that it does need repair, or replacement.
Where
The
does the
entire,
siding
the
need
entire, the entire house needs to be repainted. Windows and doors that are in need of repair, replacement need to be taken care of as well.
I understand
And there
that.
is the detached garage in back that is in almost, in rougher shape than the house that needs to be taken care of
But
as
to me,
well.
after
with
looking
these
at-
same items.
if they're looking at this house, the roof is the big issue here.
The roof is one of the biggest issues, but there are other items
Understood.
that need to be addressed before we would recommend that this come off the demolition list.
Can I-
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
In the October 27th meeting, you as commissioner then, and we discussed that what we would like is a complete cost breakdown of what is required, to include the roof, to
Yeah.
include roof, electrical, soffits, plumbing, everything that it would need to get a certificate of occupancy. We requested that.
We
that
did. I
wanted
forgot about that.
And
And
do we
then-
have that?
And then there was somebody who said, well, it's not right to ask me to get all that when you didn't ask any of the others. And so they said, no. That's what I heard, I'm sorry. Y'all heard
Is
it.
there any way that I
Oh, well.
can get a printout of what all needs to be done in order to, so.
Yeah, I can give you this copy. This is what was mailed.
Yeah.
I
that
mean,
would be
this
great.
was sent back. I mean, you can have this. Yeah, that was sent back.
How much?
Yeah.
Nope, oh, no talking, no talking, side talking. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, commissioners.
I can
So the consensus on this is to take it to February 9th as well?
No,
Or-
Yes, that's my vote.
I guess there's three.
Yes,
And-
I,
Sorry.
like I say, we're giving the benefit of the doubt to these homeowners, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think
Let's start
the,
thinking about the citizens.
right, I gotta understand.
And we see a lot of houses where people don't come in and they don't pay any attention and they haven't lived in for years, and I have no problem with that. But when people are trying, and I think we've been pretty patient too with this house, but when they're trying, I'm supportive of that, so.
I think on this one, I mean, I think we have a consensus, Madam Mayor, but it's for 60 days, but is it just for the roof or is it for the other things too? I think it needs to be for everything that's on the remediation list, but, I mean, that's where I'm coming from, but.
I don't know if they'll have everything on the list, but,
But the
Yeah.
big
That'd
thing
be-
is that roof, but
yeah. Well, that's what we asked for last
are we,
time.
do
We didn't even get that.
Okay, I don't know if I've heard from everybody.
Commissioner Leonhardt, what's your thought? What's your thought on that?
You know, I'm torn, but I mean, I would give 60 days, but the thing is, so, the daughter's gonna do her finance thing, okay,
Maybe.
whatever.
maybe.
Maybe.
But in 60 days, all of that has to be done. I mean, if you just get the roof done and all this other stuff has to get done, and it doesn't get done, then you know what, it could possibly be demoed.
So what's your,
Well, I mean, I give them
Choice.
60 days, but the thing is, then there's that.
for everything or for everything?
I'd say everything, because like Mrs. Hurley said, of course the roof, but then you still have, what did you
The
say?
entire structure is in rough
Sure.
shape.
In rough
Obviously,
shape.
the roof is, kind of your,
So you could have this
your
great roof
capstone,
and
but-
then part of the other part falls down.
I mean, Miss Hurley, in the next day or two,
leakage.
for Miss Derringer's daughter, I mean, is there anything that would preclude you from just giving her a call and just making sure she understands?
I mean, I don't think she gave her phone number. I think,
Okay.
Ms. Williamson got her address in the record. We can certainly send a letter just asking the daughter to contact us, if she wants to do that on her mother's behalf.
It's just, because it is gonna be quite an investment, I mean, besides the roof and the other things, and that's the problem here, are the resources.
Right.
The fiscal resources to get the work done.
I don't think she's gonna have it.
So-
Commissioner Wilson, any other comments in the 60 days for everything? Your thoughts?
You said, everything within the 60 days?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see major progress, but definitely the rules. If I say, if he gets the rules done, I'll be in favor, extending some grace with that, because I know that's gonna be a big, ticket item. So I just really would like to see the rules within that 60 days.
Well, my thought is that it shows a commitment if they're gonna spend
Yeah,
money to
and-
put a roof on, it shows a commitment that they wanna keep the house.
Because
Any other comments, Commissioner Price?
No, the only
here?
thing I
No?
wanted, the repairs they did on the roof, it wasn't a replacement of the roof, it was just some, like, spot repairs, right?
I can't say for sure. It hasn't been inspected by our
Okay.
inspections department. Like I
Okay.
said, there's an active
All right.
building permit,
Okay.
but there's been no inspections conducted, so I'm not a roofing expert. I can't
All
tell
I
you
saw was
exactly
tar
what was
paper.
done, so, yeah.
On the front.
Yeah.
Took-
I mean,
took off the
realistically, yeah, I'd be,
things and put tar
if they can get the roof done and it's done to standard and it's, then probably that's fine and a good indication that maybe they'll have the fiscal resources to complete the rest of the work, but,
Okay, 60 days.
Okay, so we'll bring this back on February 9th, and we'll send a letter to the daughter, this
Yeah,
week
'cause
asking her to
she's got some tough-
contact us,
Right.
to work with us on it.
Can I just clarify, was the consensus just to review it again at the February 9th meeting? There was no expectation about roof or anything
There
along
is.
with that?
There was the
or-
expectation that everything was gonna be done then,
Okay.
I believe. Is that correct, everybody?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we would just need a motion to proceed with the properties as discussed and agreed to, by the commission and as annotated by the city clerk for the minutes.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is that good enough, Ms.
That's
Lynn?
good enough.
Second.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Commissioner Wilson? Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
No.
Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
And I vote aye. It's been passed 4-1. Okay, next item on the agenda, cereal malt beverages licenses for 2021.
City Clerk Carla Williamson will handle this item.
I'm stuck on that beverage part.
Mayor and Commissioners, this item is an annual item we do at the end of each year for the cereal malt beverage license for the upcoming year. We contacted all the establishments that had 2020 license, and they have made application and paid the applicable fees. And the police department has performed the checks that they needed to do and approved the applications for renewal. We've got 4 of them that are on-premise license, and the rest of them are all off-premise license. I'll just read the names very quickly. I'm not going to read addresses. Abe's Place, Eddie's Groceries, Little Bar, Town Pub Restaurant are all on-premise. 7-Eleven, the 3 Casey's retail stores, CVS, Diamond Oil, Dillon's, Price Chopper, Hometown Store, K7 Stop, The Minute Mart, Murphy's USA, Star Gas, Walgreens, Walmart, and Woody's Food Mart. Those are the off-premise locations.
Okay. Any comments from commissioners or questions?
No.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the cereal malt beverage licenses for 2021 as presented.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson? Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0. Next item on the agenda, cancellation of the December 22 commission meeting.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioner, Madam Mayor and Commission, sorry about that. It is a requirement that the city commission cancel any regular meetings. Traditionally, we have canceled the regular meeting the week of Christmas, and so that item is before you tonight. Just so you know, next week, that's a study session. We will also have a small special meeting as we have a couple items at the end of the year. We still also have the ability to call a special meeting between now and the end of the year if there's any business items that are required. So the issue before you tonight is to cancel the December 22nd meeting right before Christmas.
Okay, any questions on that or
No,
comments?
no.
We have a motion?
I do. I move to approve cancellation of the December 22nd, 2020 regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Begin voting. Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson? And I vote aye. Thank you very much. Next item, resolutions. Resolution B 2273, Planters to tenant write-off accounts.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a regular item that comes before you at least once a year. Planters 2 is our public housing facility here in town. And this is a resolution to remove 7 tenant accounts from the rent register, that are past due or damage assessments that have been deemed to be uncollectible for various reasons, such as tenants passing away or being placed in a nursing home, things of that nature. This is required by HUD, and again, we do this at least once a year. And there are 7 accounts this time that we are asking to remove from the register for a total of $3,444.34.
Okay. Any questions? Ms. Hurley?
Ms. Hurley, just a couple of them. I see a couple of them are over $1,000. How do they get to that amount? Before they're...
It could be damage assessments, past due, rent, just any of those items that would be added up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. That takes a motion. Do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution B 2273, the Planters 2 tenant write-off accounts.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting with Commissioner Leonhardt.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0. Next item, Resolution B 2274, Planters 2 disposed assets.
Okay, again, this is another housekeeping item that is required by HUD. If we need to remove any property from the asset inventory at Planters 2, that needs to come before you as part of a resolution. And this year, the two items that need to be removed from the asset inventory are a broken office chair and a carpet shampooer. So I think we did pretty good this year on that, so we would just ask that that resolution be approved.
Okay,
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution B 2274, Planners to disposed assets.
I second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Griswold.
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Thank you.
5-0. Next item, bids, contracts, and agreements. Consider bids for demolition project 2020-02.
Julie, is this you too?
You're not done yet? Other things here.
Okay, so this is the bid for our second round of demolition. So just to kind of give you an idea, these are the properties that we reviewed at the October 27th meeting, that now we just got our bid opened for that with our demo contractor, and so that kind of gives you an idea of the timeline. So it does take a little while to get these things moving. So we put this out for bid. There was only one bid that we received. That was from Midland Wrecking. That is a contractor that we work with frequently on these projects. That includes 5 rental properties, 5 residential properties. 4 of those are city-initiated demolitions. And one of those is a Public Works initiated project that we put in with our bid for cost purposes. And the single bid that we received was $52,514. So we would just ask that the City Commission approve the bid for Midland Wrecking for this project.
Okay, any
Ms. Hurley,
questions?
if we approve this tonight, when will they be torn down?
Realistically, it'll be a couple of weeks. That once we award a bid, there are still some steps then that the contractor has to go through before they can get rolling. So with the holidays coming up, I would guess realistically it's going to be after the first of the year before we see movement on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we have a motion.
I move that we accept the bid by Denton Excavating, DBA Midland Wrecking for $52,415.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
And Commissioner Griswold.
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0.
Now I'm
Ne-
done.
Thank you. You're done now. Next item, consider purchase of 2 Monroe spreaders from American Equipment.
I think we have our Public Works Director, Mike McDonald, here for this item.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Madam Mayor, Commissioners, this is a request that the commission approve purchase of 2 spreaders that we use for snow and ice control in the winter. These 2 spreaders were budgeted for purchase in 2020. However, were delayed to later in the year so we can fully assess the impacts of the COVID on our revenue and expense needs. This is to purchase 1 spreader, a larger of the 2 is for the single axle dump truck, and the other is for a 1-ton flatbed truck that we use to get into the smaller neighborhood streets and a little more difficult to maneuver areas. These replace spreaders. One was purchased in 2001 and 2008. While both need substantial repairs, they have been reviewed by our mechanic and our staff, and they will survive through this winter to allow us to do our normal snow removal process. They won't be delivered. I think delivery date was about 4 to 6 months, so they will not be here until next winter. We did reach out to Hinky Snowplow, local company that makes these things. They don't have direct sales. They have to go through a vendor. Ultimately, their product, which is a fine product, is more expensive by a few $1,000s than the one that we are recommending purchase for. As such, also these were priced through the Sourcewell cooperative purchasing contract that you've seen on other items for purchased by the city. And as such, we would request that the city commission approve the low bid from American Equipment for the two spreaders. There is a picture of kind of what they look like in the policy report. The big stainless steel bodies survive, and now our spreaders last longer since we've gone to stainless steel many years ago than they used to.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. McDonald?
I'll go ahead, I'll make a motion for the commission to accept the bid from American Equipment Company for two spreaders in an amount not to exceed $31,315.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept this bid. Please begin voting with Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Leonhardt.
Aye.
And Commissioner
Aye.
Griswold. Thank you, sir. And I vote aye. Forget to vote.
It sounds funny, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah. Okay, so 5-0, thank you. Next item, consider purchase of ExecuTime time clocks scheduling software.
Okay, so in 2014, the city commission approved transitioning the city's financial system to a more dynamic one. And since that time, we've added additional capability, which improves our efficiencies. And the ExecuTime timekeeping system is another of the programs that will help us improve efficiencies, including scheduling changes for those departments who provide 24/7 service. In 2019, we had approved we had presented in the CIP approval for the ExecuTime purchase. And then, as with the spreaders, with the COVID-19, we postponed that. And so this is coming back to ask if we could go ahead and move forward with this program. If you approve, it will do a phased approach so that we can get, there's a lot to it, so we can get everyone the time that they need to be able to focus on each individual department's needs. And so
every department will be a part of this.
We currently have a system that people who don't have unusual schedules are using. So this would be more apt for people, for example, the refuse department, the WPC, the police department, fire department, those kinds of departments.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. Colleen? If not,
I'll go ahead and move for the city commission to approve the purchase of ExecuTime time clock and scheduling software in an amount not to exceed $42,826.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Wilson? Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5-0. Next item, consider janitorial services contract.
Our Deputy Finance Director, Brandon Mills, will handle this item.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Brandon Mills, your Deputy Finance Director. Before you tonight are the results of the proposal for 4 city-owned buildings. The buildings are City Hall, the wastewater treatment plant, the Animal Control Building, and the Municipal Service Center. The proposed agreement is for janitorial services for a 1-year agreement with an option of 2 1-year renewals for subsequent fiscal years. Finance staff work with the Public Works Department, the Police Department, the City Clerk's Office, the City Manager, and the City Manager's Office to develop the proposal document. The documents were sent to 11 vendors throughout the Kansas City metro area, including 7 located in Leavenworth City. On November 16th, the city held a mandatory building tour and pre-qualification meeting. The purpose of the tours and meetings was to make each potential vendor aware of the needs of the buildings. 5 vendors attended the mandatory tours and pre-qualification meetings. During the meetings, the vendors received instructions on the required documentations for their submissions, and additionally, they were able to ask questions. The city received proposals from 4 firms. However, one vendor, Kansas Disinfectant, failed to include the addendum presented during the pre-qualification meeting. That document was also posted on the city website. Per the purchasing policy, that proposal was not read. After the proposal opening, city staff from Public Works, the city manager's office, the police department, and the finance office reviewed the proposals using the criteria outlined in your policy report. Based on the recommendations from the review committee, staff recommends awarding all 4 buildings to Jana King of Kansas City for a 1-year agreement for janitorial services with the option of 2 1-year renewals for subsequent fiscal year. The annual not-to-exceed amount is $75,384. And I'll stand for any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
Mr. Mills, if we do exercise the option to extend it next year for another year and the following year, does that $75,000 remain static, or do they rebid?
So they'll be renewed at that dollar amount.
Okay, so
Great.
this could be that amount for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the janitorial services contract with, name of the company is Janitorial Services.
Jana King. I
Jana
think,
King.
right?
Jana King, yes.
Jan King Janitorial Services, in an amount not to exceed $75,384 with the option of 2 1-year renewals.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0. Thank you, sir, very
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good evening. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Commissioner Leonhardt?
Okay. I move to approve claims for November 21st, 2020 through December 4th, 2020 in the amount of $1,203,598.68. Net amount for longevity, pay effective November 27th, 2020 in the amount of $43,755.38. And payroll number 25, effective December 4th, 2020, in the amount of $337,784.69. No police and fire pension.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please begin voting. Commissioner Griswold?
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Commissioner Leonhardt?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Consent agenda passes 5-0. Okay, any other items, Commissioner? Mr. Kramer?
I'll just note that on Friday afternoon, we're going to have a ribbon cutting out at the Thornton Street project. The project opened to the public about a week ago, but we've been removing all the road closed signs and all the final issues. We still have a little bit of cleanup here and there, but everything else is removed and the striping is down, and I think it's a great project. So if anybody from the public does want to come out, we're going to be out in front of the service center Friday afternoon for that, just for a very short ribbon cutting ceremony.
2
Is
o'clock,
that-
right?
2 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw something else that said
Says
1:30.
1:30.
I want to make sure.
Yeah, we're going to do 2
It
o'clock.
is 2
2
o'clock?
o'clock,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Anything, Commissioner Leonhardt?
No, well, I just want to do a little shout out to Ruby and Brandon and the whole financial department for helping me through this year, being the financial claims reviewer. You know, you
Good
guys do a
point.
great job, your whole department does. And then I just turn that reign over to Commissioner Wilson.
Speaking of, Commissioner Wilson, any last comments? That segue.
Da-da.
Any comments, sir?
I don't think you heard.
Can you hear me? Jermaine, can you hear me?
Oh, all right, I'm sorry.
Just wanted to see if you had any comments.
Yes, I just want to say God bless. Let's continue to love and care for one another. This is the season of giving. Let us continue to focus on blessing those who do not have. Let's continue to pray for one another. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Preisinger.
Yeah, I've got a couple things. after tonight's meeting, usually over the next couple of weeks, as you run into people in town, they'll say, how come the mayor changes every year? How come we don't elect a mayor? And I believe there are 30 cities of the first class in Kansas. It's not first-class cities, but cities of the first class is designation. Of those 30, I believe 17 of those 30 have our form of government, which is a city manager commission form of government, where the commission selects the mayor. 13 of them elect their mayor. And this was decided by the people of Leavenworth approximately 40 years ago. I'm grabbing some dates now. Was it
Late 60s.
It was in the 70s, I
I think it was late 60s or early 70s.
Yeah, 40 or 50 years ago, and that's what they chose. Now, another form of government, obviously, is a mayor elected, and the commissioners or council members, whatever it might be, but they're by wards then. You know, you have a commissioner from this area of town, et cetera. All the smaller cities, by Kansas statute, cities that are not of the first class, or cities of the first class, which are the 30 probably largest, cities of the second class and cities of the third class, all have elected mayors. They don't have the option for this type of government. But once again, the people of Leavenworth chose this type of government by a vote, and so that's why where we are here. So as we get questions, that kind of explains it. I asked for this a couple months ago, and tonight brings it up again. I hope that we as a commission develop an ordinance on demos, a more clear ordinance on demos. I've checked with other cities in our area. They have specific things when you put a house on a demo project, what that homeowner, that property owner has to do to prove to you that they're going to take care of it. You don't get into these subjective things that I've got to do this, I have to do that. And it's pretty tough, pretty stringent. They got to show us a plan and the cost to fix it and their financial capability of fixing it. And it becomes very objective. And all the plaintiff pleas, et cetera, here's what you have to qualify, here's what you have to do. You meet it, fine. If you don't, you don't. So I would hope that we as a commission can consider putting some teeth into our ordinance. Because what we're going through here is just not unfair to the property owners, and it's definitely not, it's not fair. Well, it is unfair to the property owners, but it's horribly unfair to the citizens of this city that live in this squalor that people have. So I hope that we do that, and hope that we do it before the next round, because here we are, we're probably going to start seeing the next round of demo houses in February or March. I'd like to give congratulations to Mike Hooper. I know that he's Deputy Public Works Director. I know that he's retiring here in approximately a week. Is it the 15th, Mr. Kramer?
23rd, I think.
23rd, within a couple weeks. He was instrumental in getting $100,000 worth of historic tax credits for the Riverfront Community Center. That's $100,000 that comes to the city, and $35,000 grant for the fuel system at the airport up at Sherman Field. Now, historic tax credits with the $100,000, people say, well, the city doesn't pay any taxes. They're tax exempt, so how do you get what do you do with these tax credits? What municipalities do is we can sell those tax credits, sell them off to, I guess, almost any business, or is that correct, Mr. Kramer? I mean,
A lot of times banks will purchase them for clients, yeah.
And we usually get, what, 92 cents on the dollar?
Around that.
So, I mean, that $100,000 grant that we get probably translates into $92,000, which comes to the city coffers. So, thanks to Mr. Hooper, and thanks for all of his work, and congratulations on your retirement, and we will miss you. And the last thing I mentioned the other day, on Friday, I may miss the ribbon cutting. I want to be there, but our group is meeting that we're considering judges. We'll do the interview of the judges for the first district of Kansas, first judicial district, and we send 3 of them up to the governor. And that's scheduled to be all day. Sometimes it goes a little bit faster. Thank you. That's all I got.
No, I reinforce and echo everything Commissioner Preisinger just said, and I think after the new year, in terms of looking at these more stringent and more straightforward, less subjectivity with respect to our procedures and the criteria we look at with respect to these houses that are on, are put on the demolition list. I'm all for that, and maybe we can look at a study session after the new year to do that, before we get into the next round, which probably will start in late February or March.
Yeah, I'd like to see what some of the other
Yep.
cities are doing
Yep.
too. Maybe we can get some information on that.
Okay, I think that's
Yeah.
very, very important, and I support that 100%. The only thing that I want to say is that last week, the numbers went down a little bit with respect to COVID-19 in terms of the county numbers with respect to the number of cases per day. Not a lot, but they did go down a little bit, plus the percentage of people testing positive. But I noticed on Monday, they're up again. So just, we gotta keep doing everything that we can to fight this virus, fight the spread of the virus, mitigate the spread of the virus. And so I just urge all citizens to continue avoiding groups, wearing masks, socially distancing, washing hands, and sanitizing surfaces. All those actions are necessary. There's the things that we can do as citizens to help with this public health crisis, which is, you know, it's getting worse. It's going to be worse until probably this vaccine comes, and hopefully that'll be in the late, generally available to the public in late winter or early spring. I know it's supposed to be rolled out for our medical people in our nation and people in, you know, retirement homes and things like that, but we've got to bridge this gap over the next 3 or 4 months. So that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Griswold. I had something come up that I just wanted to let the general public, if you're aware of it. Another commissioner and I both have received these notices from the Department of Labor that we had filed unemployment claims. And it's a scam. I mean, somebody's filing under our name. So there is a place that you can report that. It's called fraudreport.ks.gov, fraudreport.ks.gov. And I would suggest that you file a report. If you get one of these, it's a letter from the Department of Labor. It says that, I see you have filed for unemployment, and I haven't filed for unemployment. So anyway, if I know 2 or 3 people now that have these, and so I'm sure there are a lot of others as well. So please do report that, and we need to get that knocked out. Other than that, we don't meet for a regular meeting until after the first of the year, so I just wanted to wish everybody a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year if we don't see you between now and then.
We do have a study session next week, do we not?
We do have a study session next week.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's not a regular meeting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
We may not have as many citizens tuning in as what you're
That's
saying,
right,
right?
that's
Yeah,
right.
so,
Okay. Anyway, with that, anybody else? Okay.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn. We begin voting with Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Leonhard.
Aye.
Commissioner Preisinger.
Aye.
Commissioner Griswold.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The meeting is adjourned.